What up, guys? Welcome back to Cruising with Coco, and on this video we're going to talk about my bootcamp experience. Now, when I went to bootcamp, I went when everything was shut down and everybody was quarantining, so I had to do a 2-week quarantine at an army base just to make sure that I don't have COVID or that I don't get COVID, right? So let's get into it. So let's first talk about the bus ride there. I ain't gonna lie, the bus ride there, I was scared. I was shaking in my boots because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was finna happen. I was reconsidering my whole life. The bus was so quiet, you could hear a mouse fart, a pin drop. That's how quiet the bus is. So you get on the bus, they tell you to sit down, whatever. You start to the front and you fill in every seat. And then once everybody in, they're going to say no talking, no phones. They're going to turn on this video. And like I just said, the bus was silent. Silent. Nobody was talking. Nobody. So on the ride to RTC, if you don't know what RTC is Recruit Training Command. So on the way there, we driving, everybody quiet. We finally pull up. You see them big gates that said RTC, Naval Recruit Training Command. Drive through the gates. At this point in time, my heart was pumping. My heart was beating like doo, doo, doo. It was beating like you beat some drums, right? So as soon as the first person got on the bus, right, he get on the bus screaming, get off the bus, and you can't just walk. You got these 2 double doors. You can't just walk to them. You got to run to the 2 double doors. When you get to them 2 double doors, you go in. They had a line up, had 2 lines. When everybody was in, everybody was just there looking, like just quiet, looking at each other, like, what's going on? Everybody was scared to say something. I know I was scared to talk. So we had the senior chief come in. He introduced himself. I am senior chief, so-and-so. All chiefs and senior chiefs wear all khakis. All petty officers wear the black with the khaki shirt. Do you understand? In that moment, everybody screamed, yes, petty officer. When I tell you that man went off, he went off. He started screaming, did you not hear me? Was you not listening? I just said I am senior chief so-and-so. Chiefs and senior chiefs wear all khaki. Petty officers wear black and khaki. Do it look like I got on black and khaki? Everybody screamed, no, senior chief. All right, so after he said that, right, he was like, you got 1 minute to get your phones out, turn it on, and call your parents. Do it now. So everybody scrambling to get their phones. I got my phone. My phone would not turn on for the life of me. I was shaking. My phone would not turn on. So it finally turned on, right? I called my mom and said, Mom, I just wanted to call and let you know I made it. Before my mama could get okay, I hung up. And then I put it back in my pocket. All right. Then after that, they gonna take you to this room. If you're a guy, they're going to take you to get your hair cut. And if you're a female, they're going to take you to this room or whatever. So you can put all your phone, everything you brought that you can't have in RTC. They're going to tell you to put in this box. And if you put in this box, they're going to have you tape it up and write your name on it. And then you're going to go back to the hallway. So let's fast forward to week 1, right? So week 1, the first 4 days of week 1 is called P days. So for P days, we was waking up at like 3:30 in the morning just to be at the hospital for 5. So we get all our shots. You do all your paperwork. You get your eyes checked. You go to the dentist. You get your teeth checked. You get your teeth cleaned. Basically, they just checking everything to make sure like everything is good, up to standards. They got all your paperwork, right? That one shot everybody know about, called the peanut butter shot. Man, when I tell you, they gonna put you in this room. They gonna tell you like to drop your pants a little bit behind under your butt, and you gotta bend over. Bro, that peanut butter shot, it's nothing to play with. My butt was hurting for 2 days after that. My one cheek was hurting for 2 days after that. That shit, it was crazy. Right? So like I said, you go to the dentist, you get your teeth cleaned, they check your wisdom teeth, you do all your paperwork, you get all your shots, they check your eyes. Also in week 1, you do your initial PFA. Right? So when I went, it was the 1.5 mile run, sit-ups, and push-ups. Now for my age group, because I was 21, right? So I had to run my mile, and I think it was 15 I had to run my mile. Now mind you, this is a little tidbit about me. I am not the best runner. Never was, probably never will be. So when I tell you I was breathing hard, like I had asthma when we started that initial PFA, boy, it was over. The push-ups, the sit-ups, I was cool with. I could do my push them out, you know. But that run, oh, that 1.5 miles, oh, it was something else. And I don't know about now, but when I went to boot camp, if you passed your initial PFA and you passed the depth test, right, you got a bonus. And you had the opportunity to get promoted. Now, I didn't make my run in the time that I needed to make my run, right? I think my first run, I finished it in I think it was 17 or 18 minutes. I barely made it. I barely, not even barely made it, but I barely made it, right? So I didn't get the bonus, and I didn't get ranked up. I stayed as an E1. I was what was that? A recruit. I was a recruit. That's what it is, right? And then also you get your NWs. So your NWs is like the camouflage uniform, and you got your boots in your first week. Now you may think that's a lot for a first week, but as I said, my boot camp experience is not gonna be like y'all's, because I was a push division, and I really only had boot camp for 6 weeks. Now boot camp is 8 weeks, 10 weeks. My boot camp was 6 weeks because I went during COVID, right? So for your second week, you got your swim. Let's talk about the swim for a second. Let's just take a second to talk about the swim, right? So, the swim. If you don't know how to swim and you are going to Navy boot camp, I advise you to take swimming lessons. Take swimming lessons. And if you're afraid of heights, you better get over that, because you're going to be jumping off a 10-foot platform. Really, it's not even a jump off, because they gonna give you some encouragement when you step that 1 foot off. So basically, right, you get up there, you climb the ladder, you stand up there, they're gonna tell you to cross your arms. They're gonna tell you to cross your arms, then take your hand and pinch your nose. And when you step out, you're gonna have to cross your legs, right? So I don't know if they did this for everybody, because I was one of those persons that's scared of heights. So I was really just trying to get over my fears. Okay, I gotta jump. I gotta do it. This is just something I gotta get through. And in my head, I was telling myself, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, right? To try to hype myself up. So I did it, and I stepped that one leg off, and I was about to get ready. They gave me a little encouragement. They pushed me, and then I went down. Now, thank God I knew how to swim. Because if not, I probably would have drowned. Well, they're not going to let you drown. They got people in the water to, if you don't come up in a certain amount of time, they going to come get you and take you out the water. Basically, they're going to take you to the shallow end, and they going to teach you how to float on your back and how to swim on your back, right? But thank God I knew how to swim. Because when I hit that water, I went down there, and I was trying to get back up for air. I was like, get me up. I was like a jellyfish. I was like, like I was trying to get up to get that first gasp for air. All right, so after your swim, you got the Marlin spike. Now, if you don't know what Marlin spike is, so basically that is teaching you how to talk over the comms, and it's teaching you how to hook up the ship to the pier, like with all the big lines and everything that you got to do, throwing it over, 1, 2, 3, heave, like all that good stuff. That is what Marlin spike is. It's basically just teaching you how to hook up a ship to the pier. That is it. So you go through that. Went there. We did a walkthrough, talk through, like once or twice. And then that third time, it was like, you understand? And if you said yes, you went out there and you had to do it. And they wasn't going to tell you nothing. If you messed up, you would have found out at the end, because you would have had to do it all over again. After Marlin spike, you got your first test. So in the beginning, they're going to give you a training guide. Study your training guide. Matter of fact, even if you don't remember to study your RDC, they're going to tell you to study, because anytime you standing around, sitting around, just waiting, they're going to tell you, where's your training guide? Pull out your training guide. So you're never just going to be there just sitting or standing. They're going to tell you to pull out that training guide. So my advice to you is, before they tell you, just go ahead, have it, pull it out. Just pull it out and look at it. You better just read it, because the test is easy. Everything that's in the training guide is on the test. So just study the training guide and it'll be an easy day, right? Third week, we had live fire. So if you don't know what live fire is, that's when they teach you how to shoot the gun. They teach you, not only that they teach you how to shoot the gun, they teach you how to take apart the gun, how to clean up a gun, and how to put it back together properly. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Putting together, taking it apart, I caught on pretty quickly, right? I don't know what it was, but when we went to go shoot the gun, when they said fire, 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 I took the gun out, put it on safety, and I plunged it out to shoot. As soon as I pulled the trigger, like right before I pulled it, he's screaming at somebody right in my ear. So I wasn't really focusing. So when I shot it, I wasn't stable. And I shot the ceiling. I got an FFI. I asked them if I could redo it, and they said no. So I got an FFI. But it's okay, because now in the real Navy, when I went to go to do my gun shoot, I'm an expert. But that's okay. So we not gonna worry about the FFI no more, because now on my uniform, my ribbons, I got that expert ribbon. All right. So after the live fire, you got firefighting part 1, right? Firefighting, they gonna teach you how to put out they gonna create a live fire. First, they're gonna do a walkthrough, talk through with no fire. Just show you the movements that you gotta do, the stance you gotta do, what you gotta say, and then they gonna light a real fire. And you're gonna have to put on that FFE, that hot ass FFE, put on a SCBA, and go fight that fire. Left and right, down and low, sweep the ground. Put the wet stuff on the hot stuff. So that's just firefighting part 1. All right. And then also on the third week, you get your dress uniforms. You get your dress whites, your dress blues, and you also get your peanut butters with your dress shoes. Right? All right. You tracking? Tracking. All right, cool. Fourth week, you got more firefighting. But when I say more firefighting, you're not necessarily putting out fires no more, but they teaching you how to patch a pipe with all different kind of materials. And then they teach you about how to set up the shoring to secure your building. Well, not the building, to secure the ship if you got a box patch somewhere. right? Also in week 4, we started marching training. So we went in this big auditorium and they taught us how to march the right way. Even though, if you go look at my graduation, because nobody could come to my graduation because went during while everybody was quarantining, so it was only filmed and it was put on Facebook. If you go look at that, even though they taught us how to march, people was still off step, which is crazy. All right, and then week 5, you got your final PFA. Now, a little tidbit about the final PFA. You remember when I said that initial PFA, I barely made it? For my final PFA, I really barely made it. I had to make it in 15:15. I finished my 1.5 miles at 15:20. And I failed. They didn't just like, oh, she almost made it, we just gonna give it to her. No. I almost got set back. You know what they told me? The next day I had to go back and rerun it. And then it was the same thing. I made it 15:20. So you know what they did? They said, look, we gonna put you, it was like this group of people who didn't make it. So they didn't get set back, but we had like 3 more chances to run. And if we didn't make it, we wasn't getting set back, we was getting kicked out. So I prayed to God and I said, Jesus, please let me make it. I did not come this far, so I would not make it. Jesus, please let me make it. All right. So after that prayer, the final day came and it was time for me to run. It was this RDC. She said, I'm going to run with you. Just keep up with my pace. All right. So we started off good. I'm still breathing heavy. Don't think because I was in boot camp that me breathing heavy changed. It did not. I'm running, breathing heavy. She was like, left, right, left, right, left, right. And I just kept going, breathing heavy now, left, right, right. Now, on my last lap, she said, you got to sprint this one out because if you don't, you're not going to make it. Right? In my head, I'm thinking, we already at the 15-minute mark. I got about 15 seconds before I just fell and they kicked me out. So when I tell you God came down himself and got in my body and ran that last lap, because I felt like Forrest Gump. I was running like I ran for my life, screaming, I can do this. Just take a moment and imagine it. Imagine me running, screaming, I can do this. When I finally got done, guess what time it was? You would think that I barely made it, right? No. I ran it in 14:45. I mean, I barely made it, but what she said made me feel like that I wasn't gonna make it. She was like, if you don't sprint this one out, you're not gonna make it. So I'm over here running for my life. I could have kept the same pace that I was running, right, left, and still made it. But what she said, it just made me feel like, I don't know what I do know where the extra strength came from. God himself came down, like I said, put himself in my body, and he just ran. Right? So I made it. That was sorry, got a little cut off, but I made the run. Obviously, I'm in the Navy. But after your final PFA, right, you got battle stations. Now, I'm not allowed to talk about battle stations. But just when you're going through boot camp, pay attention. That's all I'm going to say. Just pay attention when you go through boot camp. Because if you make it to battle stations, all right. And then after that, we had graduation. And that was the last thing we did, was graduation. Graduated. They recorded it, put it on Facebook, all that good stuff. If you want to go watch it, go watch it. Division 060. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Nah, let me stop playing. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please leave a comment, like it, subscribe. And if you think this video was entertaining and somebody else may like it, share it with them.